Trapped by fear, freed by purpose. There comes a point in everyone's life when the walls feel like they're closing in. When fear grips you so tightly it feels impossible to move. You wake up each day feeling stuck, paralyzed by the unknown, by the fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of not being good enough. You look around and see people moving forward, chasing dreams, making progress, and yet, you feel like you're trapped inside your own mind, inside your own hesitation. It's like you're screaming silently in a world that keeps moving without you. And no matter how badly you want to break free, something holds you back. Fear has a way of disguising itself as reason. It whispers, "You're not ready, you'll mess up, they'll laugh, what if it all goes wrong?" And because those whispers come from within, you start believing them. Slowly, without even realizing it, you shrink. You settle. You stop dreaming big because it hurts too much to imagine a life you're too afraid to reach for. That's what fear does. It doesn't just steal opportunities, it steals you from yourself. But here's something most people don't realize. Fear is not the enemy. Fear is natural. Fear is honest. Fear means you care. The real danger is staying there, letting fear build a prison in your mind and calling it safety. Because the truth is, fear only has the power you give it. It will chain you, trap you, and drown you only if you let it. And most people do. They live their whole lives in that quiet prison, choosing the comfort of fear over the chaos of growth. They fight back. They don't eliminate fear, they learn to carry it. They stop running from it and start using it. And they find something far more powerful than fear: purpose. Purpose doesn't come with flashing signs or perfect timing. It doesn't arrive when you feel confident or prepared. It's something you discover in the struggle, in the moments when you're terrified but take the step anyway. Purpose shows up when you ask yourself, "What am I willing to suffer for?" and realize the answer is bigger than your fear. Because when you have purpose, fear doesn't disappear, but it loses control. It becomes background noise instead of the main character. Purpose gives you a reason to act even when your hands are shaking. It gives you direction when everything feels uncertain. It gives your pain meaning. And that meaning is what sets you free. There was a time when you felt that deeper pull. Maybe you've forgotten. Maybe you've buried it under responsibilities, expectations, and doubts. But it's still there, that whisper in your soul that says, you were meant for more. That vision you once had of a life filled with impact, passion, growth. You weren't crazy for wanting it. You were just scared, and that's okay. Fear is part of being human. But purpose is the part that refuses to let fear win. Purpose doesn't wait for you to feel ready. It demands that you move before you're ready. That's where transformation happens. The world tells you to play it safe, to follow the path, to be realistic. But deep down, something in you resists that. You're not just here to exist, you're here to live, to love, to create, to push boundaries, to grow into the fullest version of yourself. And you can't do that while living under fear's thumb. The key is to stop asking, "What if I fail?" and start asking, "What if I don't try?" Because the regret of not trying is always heavier than the pain of failure. Failure teaches, it humbles, it builds, but inaction rots. It eats away at your self-worth. It convinces you that the life you want is impossible when in reality, it's only waiting on you. Inaction rots. And this isn't just about big dreams or public success. It's about freedom. Freedom to be who you are, unapologetically. Freedom to speak your truth. To pursue what lights you up. It's about reclaiming your life from fear's grip and giving it back to your purpose. To walk away from what drains you. It doesn't happen overnight. It happens in steps, in tiny, brave decisions made one at a time. Saying yes when your fear says no. Speaking up when your instinct is to stay silent. Trying again after failing. Standing tall after falling. That's how freedom is built, not in absence of fear, but in defiance of it. Think about every person who's ever inspired you. Every story that moved you. Every leader, artist, creator, or survivor who made a difference. They weren't fearless. They were just committed. Committed to something bigger than their doubts. They felt fear and acted anyway. That's what made them powerful. And that same power lives in you. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to feel strong every day. You just need to remember your why. Why did you start? Why does it matter? Why are you still here, still breathing, still trying? That reason is your fuel. And as long as you hold onto it, you're never truly trapped. Freedom isn't some external condition, it's an internal shift. When you stop living on autopilot and start living with intention. It's when you choose growth over comfort, healing over hiding, progress over perfection. It's when you finally say, I may be scared, but I'm not going to stay stuck. That decision, that single decision, can change everything. You're not broken. You're not behind. You're not weak for feeling fear. You're human. And like every human before you who has done something great, you have the ability to rise. Not because you're fearless, but because you're driven. Because your purpose is stronger than your pain. Because deep down, you know there's more to you than what fear allows. That fire inside you? That voice that won't stay quiet? That's your purpose calling. Don't ignore it. Don't silence it just to make fear comfortable. Your story matters. Your life matters. Your freedom matters. And if you're still doubting yourself, still wondering if you have what it takes, hear this. You do. Not because it will be easy. Not because fear will magically vanish. But because you were never meant to stay trapped. You were born to break through. To rise. To build. To lead. And your purpose, your real, deep, soul-level purpose, is what will pull you out of the prison fear built around you. You don't have to be loud to be powerful. You don't have to be fearless to be brave. You just have to begin. So today, even if your voice shakes, even if your knees tremble, take the step. Write the message. Start the project. Make the call. Speak your truth, not because you're not afraid, but because you are, and you're ready to stop letting that fear win. Let your purpose lead. Let it guide your hands, your words, your actions. Let it drown out the noise of doubt and remind you that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. You were not meant to live a small, safe life inside fear's shadow. You were meant to live fully, freely, and with fire in your heart. You were meant to stand in your truth, to rise after the fall, to grow into someone you can be proud of. That's the journey. That's the mission. Trapped by fear? Maybe. But not forever. Not when purpose calls you forward. Because the moment you stop letting fear define you, and start letting purpose drive you, that's the moment everything begins to change. You are not stuck. You are not lost. You are becoming. You are rising. Trapped by fear. Freed by purpose. That's the story. And now, it's yours. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. Also, subscribe to our channel before you go. Thank you for watching.